we're back in for episode 5.
Episode 5.
And
Wednesday.
We are halfway to our first double-digit episode. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Yeah, we're
That's
on
the
a
goal.
Wednesday. So what we're hoping to do is actually get to the point where we're releasing every Thursday, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So Thursday releases our key, and from then on...
Share,
Yeah.
like, subscribe, follow
Yeah.
us on TikTok.
No, we're not. We will be making a TikTok, though, but...
You'll be making
yeah, go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Follow us on Spotify at The Shitty Podcast.
And Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, we're on iTunes. We're on Apple. Apple Music is the same thing as iTunes.
Apple. I don't think iTunes exists anymore. Apple.
Okay, it's just
the
Apple.
podcast app, whatever that is.
Yeah.
The purple one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. And then subscribe to us on YouTube and like this video. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll say it.
Merch coming soon.
Yeah, just get ourselves in a hole so we can't.
Yeah.
No, we don't even have anything ready.
We can
for
never live up to anything.
How you feeling on this Wednesday, Nick?
I feel
I'm tired as shit.
You are?
Yeah.
Dude. I feel like full of energy,
Yeah,
actually.
you do. We're just swapping. We're swapping.
I'm
places.
really full of energy right now.
Yeah.
What makes you so tired? You seem like you ended work early today.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't sleep well.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it is.
Sleep is a thing. Do you have like a routine before you go to bed?
Like,
Do you like? I mean, like, are you the type of person that before you fall asleep, you just like stay on your phone until you fall asleep?
no,
or?
no. Yeah, I do
or
have.
what?
I do have a routine. I'm actually a little bit OCD when I go to sleep. I have to. It has to be
The
cold,
deeds. Yeah.
and I drink so much water before I go to sleep, which is terrible. Like, it's good, but it's not because then I just wake up. I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Um.
Get those toxins out overnight, dude. That's what you got to do. You got to wake up and take that morning horse piss. That's what it's all about. Fill yourself up with water, wake up, take that morning racehorse piss. That's what I call it.
Okay. Moving on.
Anyways, carry on.
Yeah, I don't think you really releasing toxins overnight, though. You're not like sweating or anything. Also, what are toxins?
I sweat a lot.
That's
a
a-
lot of nightmares.
People just throw that word around like, oh, it's like a juice cleanse. Just get out all the toxins. It's like, what toxins
You're drinking
do you
juice.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, and like, it's like a spiritual thing. What toxins are in you? That's like supernatural.
Are you
Like,
possessed?
yeah.
Why?
Why are you thinking of your body as being toxic? That's kind of like negative.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Yeah, it's like one of those things that people just say though. Like, yeah, it's juice. I'm going on like a 7-day juice cleanse. Get rid of all the toxins. Like, oh, you mean you're just not eating solid food for 7 days? Like, you're probably gonna feel terrible.
Yeah, exactly. That's terrible to not eat like meat or something like that. Just to go and drink juice, you turn it.
just
What do you
solid
turn
food.
into? I mean, you turn into a liquid.
Like a cucumber, yeah.
Yeah, and then you
Um,
definitely sweat overnight. You just
I
wake
would
up.
sweat all night if I did a juice cleanse.
You wake up as Pickle Rick or something. You just like,
Or like
oh my
that.
God,
What's
Pickle
like?
Rick.
What's that? Like a T-tox. Do you remember when it like Instagram, like Instagram girls first started happening, and they just all sold like this tea that was like,
Dude, the tea company was freaking shot up in the beginning
Yeah.
of Instagram.
yeah. I remember when I first noticed that was. I don't even know how long ago. Like, when did Instagram even come out? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I'm
I've been
gonna
in
throw
Instagram
dates
like
around,
2011.
But I remember seeing that, and I was like, why do all these people have like these tea bags and stuff? And I was like, and that was when affiliate marketing started really making a press.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, what is that detox tea? It's probably poison.
I've never even heard of the detox tea. I just know of the juice cleanses and stuff like that.
No, you
It's
know
like,
what I'm talking about.
moving
Like
to
the girls always like,
California.
oh, I love my tea talks.
No,
Too
I've
young?
I've seen it, but I don't think they're a thing anymore. I know what you're talking about, though.
They're definitely still a thing.
You think?
Just not. I think people have kind of caught on that it's a scam.
And now you can just tell the girls that never got other brand deals. They just like, no one goes to them, so they're just sticking with the T-Tox thing, repping the T-Tox brand because, that's what started what first started in Instagram. They first started doing the tea, so they're still doing it. So they just never got another brand deal.
What's your question?
I'm just saying, those are the girls that are the ones that could never get
You
another
weren't
brand
asking,
deal.
You weren't asking me anything.
No,
Oh, okay.
definitely not. I don't think you
You
have
lost
any
me. I
answers
thought it
at
was-
all in your head.
Definitely not today. I thought it was a question at first. I was like, oh, what am I supposed to know?
Yeah, you were looking around. I was like, maybe should I backtrack this question?
It was a question.
Bro, it wasn't. You just got in my head. It wasn't a question. But dude, do you think the reason you couldn't sleep is because you're just so excited that your birthday's coming up on Friday? Happy birthday, Geoff! You little.
I'm right here.
You will watch this though. I know you will watch this.
I do watch
Happy birthday.
sometimes. Thank you. It's on Friday though. It's Wednesday. Yeah, no, I'm not excited. I've never really been that into
Yeah.
celebrating myself. I liked when I was younger, like getting my friends together and having
Oh, yeah.
fun, but I was never really about it being about me.
So what was the age that you started hating yourself?
It was pretty early. No, and I'm turning 26. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
Sick.
And when you're
One day
27,
closer to death.
when you're well, 27 club, dude. If you make it there, then we can celebrate. If you make
No,
it
if
there,
I make it to 28, we can celebrate.
yeah, true. Because you die at 27.
But I
usually.
don't think I'm like I haven't done anything cool enough to be in the 27 club.
Yeah, that's usually if you're famous or something. We have like a year to make this podcast grow. Then maybe you'll die.
I don't want. Ooh, fingers crossed. I don't want to be famous enough that I would get into. I don't want to be famous at all.
Yeah, no one wants to be famous.
That's not true. A lot of people want to be famous.
Would you rather be famous or respected? And can you be respected if you're not famous?
What?
Okay, would you rather? I'll rephrase the question. Would you rather be famous, or would you rather be respected by like a big group of people, like a lot of people?
Respected. I don't give a shit about fame. That's what I just said.
So
I
yeah.
have no interest in being
But if you're
famous.
respected by a bunch of people, it means that they would probably know you. So can you be respected by a bunch of people without being famous?
I hope I'm respected by a bunch of people already.
Yeah.
Not saying that I deserve it, but I hope I am. You know what? No, I
Definitely.
backtrack. I should be
Definitely
respected.
down the low.
What'd you say?
Definitely down the low.
Definitely gonna get.
What was that from again?
That's
Definitely
good
gonna get
neighbor
on.
stuff on YouTube. Your mom's a MILF, dude.
So your mouth's moving a mile a minute, dude.
Plenty of fish in the sea.
Totally into it.
You're definitely into it.
Yeah. But how you're just tired? How else is your Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm tired, man. I'm old. I'm getting old.
Where did you go when you left the house today for a long time?
Just now? Where'd I just come back
When
from?
you got back from work and then you just left. Where'd you go?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Golf store?
Yeah. Damn it.
Really?
Yeah.
No, shut up.
No, I did. I'm testing out a new
Area
driver.
51.
Yeah.
So is it Titleist?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Are you still gonna have like irons and everything? You just want to get a new driver?
I need new everything because my clubs are for seniors,
Yeah.
senior citizens, which I guess coming
don't-
Friday.
If you don't know, he's got the big golf tournament up, so that's
I
why we're
could.
talking about it.
I
But-
could
But yeah, are you looking at getting a new golf set? I almost said drum set.
I would like a new drum set for no reason. Never play.
You would though. I'm
I
sure.
would. Yeah, I would. Ours doesn't sound great.
I mean, I got new skins for the drums.
They sound fine. They
Yeah.
sound pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, all you need is new skins.
Yeah. Well, it's just not like a super. We need new cymbals and everything.
Yeah, they're all kind of dull.
They're 20 years old.
Yeah, they all have like the little beat up marks on them like that.
Yeah.
It looks so bad. It looks like a rhino in Africa or something. Like they just have like the scars all over them.
Yeah. It's like, where are you going with that? What was the earlier question? Yeah, I'm getting all new clubs because I haven't even looked at my clubs or what I need for the past 10 years.
I was thinking of getting like.
I just kind of assumed I had the right ones and I didn't.
Why don't you think you have the right ones? AB2s have been. Those have been.
No, they're
used
good
for, like,
clubs.
years.
They're good clubs. They're just not. The shafts and everything aren't for me because I swing hard. I'm like really strong and I swing really fast.
Yeah. Go
And-
on.
They just have too much flex, and I could just get them. If you don't care about golf at all, this is so boring. I could just get them reshafted,
Yeah.
new shafts.
Yeah. Longer ones.
Yes, nice long hard shafts,
Firmer.
stiff shafts.
Firmer long shafts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But to do that is like I might as well just buy a new set.
So you think you grew?
I definitely grew, like spiritually.
From
Since high school, yeah, I got taller and bigger. I was like 130 pounds in high school.
Really?
No, I got 100. I was probably like 140, 150 maybe.
Yeah. I'm like 144 right now, yo. I'm like 144 or 144 right now.
Either
so
one.
I said that twice.
I heard.
But yeah, I'm 144 right now. I'm getting up there though. I actually noticed some new definition on my body.
Are you gay?
No, just saying that working out improves. I've seen that I have some
Yeah.
improvements.
Sure.
What's up with you and the gay?
You don't.
thing, dude?
I don't know. I'm pushing that narrative hard.
You need to
don't-
cut that out.
No,
Dude, we're gonna be like 10 episodes deep, and people are gonna think I'm gay.
that's the goal.
But I am. So
You don't really need definition though. You just need mass.
no, I don't want to ever be like, oh, I'm dying. I don't want to ever be a bodybuilder looking dude. I'm an athlete. I'm not.
You're
like
not gonna have that issue, dude. Trust me.
I'm not like a.
Like it's that easy. Like, no,
Yeah,
dude,
I'm just
I
gonna
wanna be
choose not to
careful.
be
I
like-
want to be careful. I don't want to end up being huge.
I mean, I don't want to end up being like inflated, but I could definitely get there just because of my genetics and everything. But I mean, like you would think I'm from Africa or something. But no, like I definitely
Or,
want to
like,
get more
Iceland.
lean and ripped. And actually, I've been thinking,
More lean
yeah, no,
will
like
evaporate.
more lean. No, that'd be like getting more skinny. But like more lean would be, I mean, I'm gaining more muscle.
No, that would mean you're
I
cutting
want more
fat.
lean muscle.
That would mean
I
you're
can
cutting
still
fat.
get, yeah, but getting more lean,
Arnold?
I can still get more lean muscle, so I can still add muscle.
You want to gain muscle.
Yeah, I want to gain muscle,
But
but
you
I'm,
need
I'm
to
trying
gain
to change.
everything.
I'm trying to, yeah, like
What?
intelligence or something.
No, I was
Are you
saying
gonna get a dig at my like
no.
my mental in that moment?
Very defensive.
Yeah, I just had
I
to
was-
get there first.
You need to gain more fat, more muscle, more everything.
Yeah, I definitely
Better
gotta get-
looks.
Dude, that dude, what's his name? The dude that freaking was the like the manager for all the artists, and I said like you take the fat out of him for implants. I need to get that dude, find him, take some fat out of him, and just gain some weight.
That was that
He
guy
manages
with- that looked like
Backstreet
Flubber.
Boys?
Yeah, Lou Pearlman
yeah,
Yeah. just stole all their
that's
money.
him. Yeah, but yeah, definitely. But I was actually thinking recently, with kayaking and doing all that sort of stuff, I want to become a sponsored athlete again. And, like,
Again?
yeah, yeah, dude.
No.
Always been sponsored in my own
I'm
life.
not.
But
Yeah,
I'll-
I'm
but
not gonna
anyway.
let you get away with that. You've never been a sponsored athlete.
Yeah, but
So-
just maybe again,
Oh,
you know.
Oops.
Yeah, but
Go back.
but
Go
you know,
back.
I've,
Hey, ooh,
I've worn
oops.
Under Armour shirts, Nikes sometimes, shoes.
See,
You know.
you know what? That's a good point. I take it back. You were
No.
sponsored.
No. But I want to do like, cause I want to do this whole like travel and making videos and sort of this stuff. But then I also am athletic and like love doing that.
You can do both.
So it would be great if I could find a way to become like a sponsored athlete that goes and competes in like triathlons, that sort of stuff. And so I work with brands through sports. And I'm not talking about like basketball, like football, like baseball, like those kind of sports. I'm talking about like sports that are like
CrossFit.
athletic type of different like adventure sort of things, like a triathlon or a big like cycling, swimming, running sort of thing. And you go up into the Alps or you go to France or you go compete across the world. I just need to find someone that can train me. And then while I'm doing that, I can make videos and do what I want and do like the vlogs and sort of that sort of thing.
That's an interesting path.
But for now, I'm just going to be doing like try and go to different places in Florida and just make videos and call it my Florida travel series. I have a plan for the Florida travel series.
You do. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. Have you ever watched Florida Sportsman's YouTube? I watch it all the time for the fishing. Stop
Just
drinking.
for fishing.
Stop drinking. I watch it all the time for the
Thirsty.
fishing channel. It's really good. They have a really good fishing YouTube. And they just go around Florida. It's really well made. And it's strictly Florida. That's the coolest part.
Yeah.
And then there was another really cool one from Meat Eater, which is
I know him.
Yeah, Steven Ranella. It's like he's a hunter and he's a fisher and all that stuff. And he has a cool show on Netflix called Meat Eater. It's about hunting. And then he has like a whole YouTube channel. And they have a series called Das Boat. And it's like-
Boat,
yeah.
like German.
And it's like this, it's like probably like a 17-foot, like a 15, 17-foot aluminum boat. And they have 5 different fishermen from 5 different places in like the southeast. and they each get a couple of days with the boat,
Yeah.
and they add on whatever they need for where they have to fish. It's a really cool series, and this is strictly fishing. So if you're not interested in fishing, it's probably not that cool to you. But you could do something similar to that to like some other area that's not fishing. Like guys would get it and they would paint a mural on the side of it. A guy got it and he added like a polling platform. Another guy got it and he added like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And it just ended up being like this really cool like mixture of styles on one boat, and it looked totally different than when they first got it.
So when like each person gets the boat, it's just that video series is just for those people going to do their adventure fishing and stuff, and then they give it to the other people, and then they do it, and that's who's being filmed.
Each episode is with a different person who has the boat. Yeah.
So you have to know these people, or can you just like join?
What?
Like, can you just be a fisherman and reach out to them and be like,
No.
Can I be on
it's
it?
like he had pre-selected people.
Oh.
Yeah. But I'm saying the idea is cool that he went from
Just
one
a
place
Florida,
to another.
Florida dude, yeah.
And it was like you followed this boat, but you didn't really. You just saw different ways that people fished and how they translated that onto what they needed on the boat. So this boat was used in like rivers, lakes, salt water, like all this stuff. So it had all this different stuff on it.
Yeah.
And I liked that idea. I thought that was really cool to go to different places like that. And like the consistent part was the boat. And it was like if you could find a way to kind of take that style of storytelling into something else that's not fishing, it'd be really cool.
Yeah, it'd probably be a little bit different. Yeah, that'd be cool. But me, I'm just by myself, so it'd be like just me going to different places. So I just need to figure out where to go and stuff like that. Like I want to show Florida and show like everything it has to offer, and just go do different stuff like that. I don't really see anyone doing Florida things. Of course, there's probably a million people doing fishing stuff, but I mean, Florida's pretty known for fishing, but like just going off to the Keys, going off to the Bahamas, like places off the coast of Florida, and then even just like the parks in Florida, the different kayaking routes, this different stuff like that. I don't know. I just want to start doing it and reaching out to stuff. I was actually thinking I'm just going to reach out to stuff because I have that dude who teaches me how to, send out emails and everything, even if you don't have a following.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to reach out and just ask for like accommodation for my crew and then bring just like you because you would just help me film probably better than anyone I know.
I could be part of the crew.
Yeah. So like I'd have one person who helps me film and just be you. And then so we can just go do these things and I can like film for my show. So like that'd be.
So what kind of
cool.
like do you have any ideas, like even one idea so far that you want to do?
Yeah.
And that's the end of that conversation. That's all I needed to know.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like do you have an idea for like a video you want to do or an activity you want to showcase?
Yeah, I want to showcase kayaking, different spots, like kayaking around Florida, just the different. I want to go to like the coast, show like boating off the coast, show the Keys, show all these different parts of Florida. I still have to research.
And just make videos on like the different places you go to.
Yeah, it'd just be like whatever I do is what the topic is. Like,
yeah, that's cool. I feel like there's probably some people doing similar things. Florida's a huge place, and it's a really good travel destination. Obviously, a lot of people come here to retire and travel and visit, and you can do a lot of stuff. There's a lot of
if I could be the
coast,
guy.
Obviously. There's a lot of lakes. There's a lot of cities. So, and it's cities all over the state. So there's a lot of diversity in Florida.
There's a lot of different people that would want to come here for different reasons. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Turn the fan on. Why isn't it on today?
I don't know. The light's going to turn on, though. So pull the light before you turn the fan on. Yeah, I like that idea. I feel like that'll be pretty cool. It'll kind of be like a natural storytelling, too. And like you said, not a lot of people know about Florida. People just think it's like Florida guy.
Yeah. So I'd kind of
tries to
show
kill
it.
somebody with a machete and then eats their face or something.
Yeah. I just got to find a way to make it like really, just look really good and be professional. So when I went kayaking, I was making a video out of that, like showing kayaking. But it's just a vlog. Like I didn't really have the ability just being just not by myself, but just having to film by myself, having to be the only one that could film. It was hard to just like pull up the camera and like current would just turn your boat around, and you just start going down the river. So it'd be like just hard to film, kind of. And I don't really have people to film me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just be asking my friends to film the whole time. It's a little bit annoying. I need to find people that like understand what I'm doing and.
Well, you want fellow filmmakers, not just randoms. Yeah, I like that idea. That'll be cool.
It'd be sweet. Like go to like get a weekend at Devil's Den or something like that. Have you heard of that place? Yeah, go dive there. I don't know. I'll just have to go find places in Florida. But that would transition like, then I could just start traveling the world, and like take my following out into the world. That's the idea.
And it's like famous restaurants, stuff like that, all that kind of stuff.
Could be.
You throw in there.
Could be.
Yeah.
It'd just be like everything about that. Yeah, everything about that area, that activity,
Mm-hmm.
what it's like over there, and putting like pricing and all that sort of stuff. I could either go that route, that informational route, or I could just go like the making it look cool and cinematic route, and then
You
just
do
saying
both.
like my story of going there.
You need to blend both. I think that's the niche you're going for. You don't want something that's just informational. It's boring. You want something that looks cool and you can learn from.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, what else? What else is on your mind?
I forgot what we were talking about before. I feel like I wasn't done talking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Golf clubs?
You cut me off.
No, definitely didn't.
You cut me off. No, not golf clubs. That's definitely not what I was talking about.
Definitely not what I was talking about.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. What were you talking about? Because I just started talking about that whole thing for a reason.
Yeah, what was the point? Tell me what the point was.
The reason why we talked about it?
Yeah.
No idea. But what do you want to do for your birthday? You just decided right now on this podcast. It's in 2 days, right?
Friday, yeah. I don't know. Probably just get dinner,
In Jacksonville?
hang out, Jacksonville or here, and then go to Jacksonville Saturday.
Oh.
And then
So
we'll go
Jacksonville
to the beach.
either way.
Yeah, and then go to the beach Saturday and just do some more hanging out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really
Okay,
like doing
that's
all that
cool.
much
But just decide.
anymore.
Just say what it's going to be, what the weekend's going to look like.
We'll see, though.
Yeah, but just say something.
I'm just going to go ahead and wait and see.
No. Just say Friday is in Orlando and Saturday's in
Why
Jacksonville.
don't y'all come at me so hard about that today?
Yeah.
Everybody all at once was like, make a decision.
Like
and I hadn't even looked at it, and y'all had already
Or like
texted me 40 times.
old man can't decide. Oh, but dude, do you want me to talk about do you have a topic that you want to talk about?
I mean, just go.
What
Talk about whatever you want.
All right. Well, how crazy! I just got done reading this book,
Yes.
and it was about.
You read a lot.
I love reading.
I love reading too, but I'm so slow at finishing books.
I mean,
Like-
I've never finished a book as fast as I have this one.
I read books. I'll read like half of a book in a day,
Yeah.
and then won't pick it up for
And then
like
you
3
just-
months.
It's just boring now.
No, it's not boring.
You just never know
I'm
how
still
anything
interested
ends.
in it. I just, dude, I have so many stories and I'm so confused on.
Yeah.
No, I am still interested in it. I just never. I don't know when to read during my day. Like before bed.
Before
That's what you were talking about. What my nighttime routine is.
Yeah. That's
And
I like that.
reading used to be in my nighttime routine. I had a pretty good routine of reading like 10 pages before I went to bed. And
You just don't have any books that you're reading?
No, I do. I have like 3. They're all a
You
quarter
just
of
have
the way
to
down.
commit to one.
Well, I did commit to one. Thank You for My Service by Matt Best. It's funny. It's really interesting.
Did you finish it? Not yet.
No, that's my point.
Oh yeah.
I'm almost done with it too, and I don't know when to read. I read at the beach. I'll read at the beach. I'll read on like a long drive. So I'll probably read this weekend.
You just don't like reading.
No,
Be honest with yourself though. Do you like reading?
Yeah, if I'm into it, I do like reading because it's different than listening to like a podcast or audio. I haven't really listened to an audiobook, but
I don't know if it makes sense, but it's like way more hands-on for your brain. if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is. Because you're looking at the words. You're not just listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't know when in my day is the best time to read and how to make that consistent. Because my days already feel jam-packed. Because I don't have a morning.
Dude, you have an afternoon. You just work until like 3:30, and then you have the rest of the day.
Yeah, but then I come home, I eat a snack, I change, I work out. I'm done with that. I go to Marissa's.
Or do something else.
Or do something else if I have time. I make dinner, get ready for bed, and then go to bed. And by the time all that's done, it's 1 a.m. because I can't get to bed before 10 o'clock.
So Marissa's making you dumber, but not allowing you to read.
I didn't say anything about being dumber.
Okay.
Why did you say dumber?
Oh, just what it seems like to me, I guess, from when you say, that you.
I'm definitely not
go to
dumber. I listen to
Marissa's
so many podcasts. I know so much stuff.
I listen to podcasts, dude. I'm definitely not dumb.
I'm not dumb. I listen to podcasts.
That's like the thing today. That's like the self-righteous thing today. It's like, oh, dude, but
Is it?
I listen to podcasts.
Well, don't. I mean, this is a podcast. Don't talk about it. You will get smarter if you listen to this. I
Yeah.
guarantee it.
I mean, you'll know a lot more about what book I read. But no, but seriously, I think podcasts are good. Let's talk about podcasts because I think podcasts are great. And here's the reason why. We go through our days as human beings and we're, in our own ego. We see life through our own lens and we have our own ways of thinking about things. Back then, we used to only have our way of thinking. Before TV, before phones, before anything from the outside was brought to us. All there was the news and the newspaper. So you thought your own way and then you saw the newspaper. But now you can see a podcast and you can see so many different perspectives. And I think it's great to see how other people think. Because I think maybe it creates more understanding in this world.
That's a good point. I've never really thought about that, is how else would you get... Because we're in a generation that you grew up and you saw... you had so much TV, and then we got the internet, and you could kind of see a bunch of different people's perspectives on things. Even through, like, fictional TV shows and stuff, you saw people's perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
And they had that back in the day,
For
but
sure.
it was way more... it was way different. They weren't really doing much on TV. It wasn't that deep. But
like back in the day, like 1940s and stuff. Yeah.
now you can, I don't know, when did TV happen? I don't know. But now you're right. You can jump into a conversation between Elon Musk and Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, when would you ever get to hear the two of them?
Yeah.
Or even Elon Musk sit down and talk for 3 hours, like. And he's an obvious example, but even people that aren't well known, like you just hear all these people's random perspectives are terrible perspectives if you listen to this.
And then you start seeing how so many people think the same way you do about certain things, and you're like, oh, okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the alternative of that, where you're listening to a podcast, or not podcast, but you're taking so much stuff from the outside that then you're not thinking your own way.
Yeah.
That you can also do that, but that's just if you consume so much. And so that's kind of what I've noticed for over a long period of time.
Wait, what do you mean not thinking your own way?
Well, what I like, everything gets put into your subconscious. So you start listening to all these people, all these opinions, and then you realize that you start to form your own thoughts based off of that, and as opposed to just analyzing the world, seeing it, taking it in, researching your own stuff, questioning things, and forming your own thoughts.
It's kind of like a lazy way to form your own opinions and stuff.
That's
just
what
by like
social media
taking
is,
stuff
yeah.
in and be like, that makes sense. Okay, I'm done thinking about it. That's
Exactly.
my thoughts now.
Yeah,
that
it's
makes
like
sense.
if you didn't make a Black Lives Matter post, then you're racist. It's just like, what the freak is going on with that? Like just that's an example, but just
that's like that's
that's group
thing.
think. That group think thing is probably because of social media and all that sort of stuff. So that's actually what I'm trying to do, is break away and get back on my own. Because I've always thought my own. Like I don't not think on my own way. I definitely think my own way.
Yeah.
But I just want to be, just because the fact that I can see that group think is a real thing, and that it's there, I would just want to be away from it. And so I
forgot about that.
That was kind of the reason why I'm quitting social media for
so talk
for
about
the whole month, and it's been good so far. I've just been more Like my friend Katie asked me how it was, and I was like, oh, actually good. Like I'm just
Reading.
observing more about the world, and I'm like read this like 300-page book in a week and a half.
Why are you doing it? Say your whole reason for why you're doing it.
Yeah,
and
the
everything.
whole group think thing. But for me, so I looked at this video on YouTube, and it was really good. I'm not gonna plug it, but it was a really good video, just called "Quit Social Media," and it was just this kid in the UK that made it like sort of like a documentary style, him quitting social media, and it was really thought provoking. So I was like, and then I'm gonna go look at my own screen time, because you have that screen time thing on your phone, and I realized my screen time was like 6 hours a day. One week it was like 7 hours a day. It was just crazy. So I did all the math, and I'm spending 91 days out of my year on my phone, and that's excluding the fact that I have to go on my laptop and edit videos, look at YouTube to learn stuff, and what other websites I use to learn. So I'm going on my phone for 91 days, not including the time that I have to go on my computer. So I'm like, dang, like what if I got rid of a big chunk of that time that I'm going on my phone out of the 91 days? I wonder how my life would change if I put more time and more investment into myself rather than on my phone. So that's kind of what led it into it. And then I was like, this is great. And then I was like, oh, then I can maybe just make a film about this and maybe, share those thoughts with other people. So then that's what I'm going to try and do my own documentary style video out of these next month. So that's my reasoning, is just the fact that I don't want my creativity and my productivity to be hindered by the fact that I just check my phone out of habit. Like I literally hate the idea of having some subconscious thing controlling you. Like a few times I've just opened my phone and just like clicked on Instagram. Like, wait, I'm not supposed to be using social media, and then I'm like, why am I doing that? I hate that.
Yeah,
that's addiction.
Yeah, it's an addiction, or if it's not an addiction, it's like a tick.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you just like a comfort thing.
Habit.
I deleted my Instagram for like 2 months or something. It was fine. I could honestly not have it. I would be completely fine.
I mean, yeah, you haven't even posted on it anyways. Like, you don't post.
Yeah, but
you don't use it.
Yeah, but that's not what most of the people use it for, posting. Think about posting. You post like once. And then the rest of the screen time doesn't come from you posting all the time. Some people it does. But it comes from you just scrolling and stuff. And I look at a lot of cool things on Instagram, I feel like, for the most part.
Yeah. So
it's interesting, and I actually learn some stuff. A lot of it's bullshit, but I do learn some stuff. Voice just cracked. Mm-hmm. Embarrassed. And
go for it.
But it's not. It's a good exercise. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I was
enjoyed what?
Not having my Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was fun. But I also realized I didn't really know any current events, though.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything.
'Cause you don't, like, look at the news app, or, like,
watch the news.
Even, like, read the news app. But that's what I'm saying. Those current events just come from people's stories and posts and stuff like that, Like,
well, there's outlets. There's, like, Sports Center and some other ones of people that are kind of more plugged into the news.
But this dude, I want to talk about this a little bit more, because this dude in the video that I watched made a really good point. He was quitting social media, and he said that one day he was just feeling, like, energetic because, whatever, he's not using it. He's not, like, using his energy to go get a bunch of, like, input from social media and stuff. So he just went out into his town, and he was kind of just, like, talking to people. And so he went out one night, and he was just talking to people, and he met people, and he said, like, even though it probably wasn't, like, the most cool thing, like, that I could have been doing or whatever, it felt just like I felt completely immersed into it, and happy that I was doing it, because I had no fear of missing out on something else, like looking at someone's story and seeing them doing something else that I was like, oh, it could be there, but he just felt in the moment more. And so I was like, yeah, I want to get that feeling back and just start living like that.
Yeah, that's where a lot of creativity comes from too. When you're having things just fed to you all the time, you don't really have to, like, kind of the podcast thing, you don't really have to think for yourself or create for yourself all that much.
Yeah.
So that's why even though this is only like an hour once a week, it definitely helps with creativity because we have to think about things to talk
Yeah,
about,
we're
and
streaming out.
it becomes
our own
less.
thoughts.
It becomes less of actually thinking of things to talk about, and it's just a conversation. But it's definitely a good exercise. If you haven't tried it,
Yeah.
it's worth it. It's worth it.
To quit social media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to literally quit like every app and not use it. I just want to see how that goes, because I'm big into just like living more more natural, like how we're supposed to live, and just like living through your own viewpoint, just and being more sound with your own viewpoint, and confident in your own just like outlook on life, because I feel like a lot of people struggle with that today, and that's that sort of thing that comes with taking a lot of outside influences. A lot of people are looking at other lives, and that's the difference between back then, where people were just living their life, and their life was fine because they were just living their life.
Yeah.
But there was no like lives out there that were better than theirs or cooler. But now there is, or people could take it like that. Especially if you're thinking about you, but think about like younger kids. Think about like
that's what
thinking about middle school,
that's what I was
high
gonna
school
ask
kids.
you.
Like
Is that, I've always wondered,
go
because
through that.
That's a thing that people always say with social media, is like the FOMO thing, and like comparing yourself to other people and all that stuff. Is that something that you've ever found yourself doing?
No, but
No, but
it's
I
not,
mean in a negative way. In a positive way, I always like all the people I follow are like badass people in whatever field they're in.
Well, I definitely
Not
have been
all
through
of them,
that.
but like a lot of the people I follow because I'm like, they
Damn,
make you
that's
just want to
sick.
like
Yeah.
start doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's more what it is.
that's cool, and I'll
because,
compare myself to them and be like, damn, I want to do
like, I
more.
want to get on it. Like I
Yeah.
gotta get on it. But that same feeling can then make you feel like, oh, what I'm doing now is inadequate. Then like I just need to
Yeah.
get to that point. But like they got to that point. Now
But
they're
to that
showing
point,
it.
when you're younger, and when I was younger and had social media, it was definitely more of that comparing kind of vibe.
For me, I think I
So I can
compare more
imagine.
now. Like
Really?
yeah, for me, I think I'm watching a lot of people that are like already doing what I want to do and that sort of stuff. And I don't think it's an actual conscious comparison of like, God, this sucks that I'm not doing that. I think you see that and you're like, okay. And then like it subconsciously goes into you, and then you're like trying to do your own thing, and then you're like, oh, but there's that out there that like I'm not that at that level, and then that's when it comes. It's like at a later date that comes up. That like comparison comes up. So yeah, I don't know. But I still have to watch YouTube to learn and stuff like that. Like if I need to learn something, I'll go on YouTube to whatever.
Dude, it's the best school there is.
Yeah. So it's basically like I'm still doing school, but I'm not doing like going on Instagram and just like.
I heard a really cool
Looking at
thing from
different
the
shit.
dude that was, for the amount of times we've mentioned Joe Rogan, I actually don't listen to his podcast that much. But I listened to it today, and the guy said, your education is only as good as what it helps you to become. So he's like, if you go to a trade school and you become a mechanic and you're a successful mechanic, you had a really good education. He said if you go to Harvard and you get your doctorate in gender studies and you teach gender studies, you didn't have that great of an education. You didn't really what did your education do? It taught you to regurgitate your education. That's not a good education. It didn't help you do anything.
Interesting.
So he said it doesn't, the kind of elitist mindset about a degree. It's like, oh, I have my PhD from Harvard. It's like, yeah, but I'm saying gender studies. I don't really know what that is, but
yeah.
it's kind of the example that people use for like, what the fuck are you gonna do with that?
That dude's just real creepy on a park bench. That's a male.
Yeah.
That's a female.
That one, male. That one, female.
Yeah.
All right, class.
Well, I can't really tell about that one. I'm not sure what that one is.
But I thought that was a really cool perspective, and it's kind of what we talk about with college and stuff, is your education. If you go to a Harvard University, you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in an education and a bullshit degree, and you can't get a job and you can't do well and you don't enjoy it, your education sucked.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that it says you're a doctor from Harvard.
Yeah.
Your
You might have had
education
fun at
sucked.
Harvard, but still, like the
Doubt
education
it.
sucked.
But if you go to a blue collar industry, learn a trade, and you're successful in that trade, your education was good.
Mm.
So I thought that was a cool perspective on it. I don't know why I started talking about that.
Because that's what our conversation is about right now.
Comparing yourself to others or whatever. Yeah. So you're going
YouTube.
to
YouTube University.
YouTube University. You can learn everything, dude. I started using YouTube to. I'm trying to think of like the early stuff I started learning. Guitar. I started learning using YouTube to teach myself guitar.
Everything.
I learned how to make wax for skateboarding rails
Did
on
you actually
YouTube
make
using candle wax. Yeah,
Oh,
it was legit. It worked really well.
Interesting.
I looked it up once I discovered YouTube. I was like, I remember that, and then
I'll talk to you about this off camera probably because it's business related, like to your business. But yeah, YouTube is definitely good. I was just gonna say, I'll just say now on camera, like you should probably one day maybe think about just doing like your own building sort of thing
on YouTube.
Yeah, like whatever the platform is at the moment, but yeah, YouTube and like make a show, make like a
If I had my own company, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, what is it called? Fixer Upper, that type of thing.
Oh yeah.
But like if you take over a company,
people love those shows.
If you take over, like make that, and like that's what I'm doing. Like I could film it and all that sort of stuff.
I saw. I've actually thought about that. There's this guy on YouTube, and it's gonna sound so lame to people that aren't into it. There's this guy on YouTube. He's a framer, and he's probably like late 20s, like my age, late 20s.
What's this like the generic idea of what he's doing though?
He's a framer, so he builds houses.
And he has a YouTube channel.
Framing, yes.
Yeah.
And he's like lives in California, and he just shoots these like vlog style days.
Oh,
like
cool.
But not like a boring like. So we're gonna put up the frame. He shoots it, and then he has like
It's like cinematic almost.
Yeah, it's like cinematic of him like, and he's a young guy, and he's a framer, and he's blue collar, and he goes and he show a time lapse of the house coming up, or like the portion that they're building coming up and everything. I'm like, why is this so interesting? Like this isn't.
Yeah.
And it would probably be interesting even to you, even though you don't really care that much about it. But it's
if you make it in the right way, you can just get everyone.
But it just shows you, yeah, exactly. It just shows you can do whatever you want to do, whatever you're doing.
Whatever you're doing,
can turn it into something educational. Like I learned a lot about it. That's why I was watching it. Because I wanted to kind of fast track my learning.
And he's kind of talking about it as he goes.
He's going through it and he's showing it,
so
and
cool.
it's just, and it's not boring. It's not like those like just a lot of just guys in their like 70s like, okay, this is how you frame out a door, and then it's just like a 15-minute video, and it could have been like 3 seconds. His is like actually cinematic, but that's funny that you said that because I saw that and I was like, this is a pretty cool idea. Because there's a lot of cool stuff in every industry that people don't really get to see. And it would also help kids choose what they want to do.
There's this dude like in the Amazon or something. He's some like local guy, and he just has no words, and he just goes and like digs up holes and makes all that stuff.
What's his name?
He'll have like 40 million views on his YouTube channel.
Everybody knows who that is.
Doesn't even speak, and he just goes and he digs a hole and he like makes a freaking fountain or something.
He literally has like a metal stick, and he digs out a bathhouse
below ground houses like that. Over in
I know I can't pronounce
over in the
name,
Amazon or something.
Sure
but
that's Mr. Tfue.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like Tfue,
60 days build million.
Fortniter.
Yeah, Mr. Tfue. 60 days build millionaire underground swimming pool house. 167 million views. He builds this pool house with.
Damn.
We'll put a picture or maybe a little clip of him doing it. He builds it with a stick, a metal stick.
Yeah.
Like scoops the dirt.
Crazy.
And it's huge. Like and then he has a bucket that he walks to the pond or lake or whatever and just carries one bucket at a time and dumps it in and fills the whole thing.
And yeah, did someone teach him this? Like I don't understand. Like
and he builds like these super elaborate things.
Someone has to show him how to do this or something because I don't know. I mean, this is just what he does. And like he's making thousands just from YouTube.
Oh, 167 million views.
Damn, dude.
That's like a freaking Justin Bieber video in his heyday.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But that's really even stuff you're watching a guy dig a hole out of clay.
And I'm just like, wow.
I watched a 20-minute video on that.
Yeah. It's so interesting every moment of it too.
And it's time lapse.
Put a little label up and I'm
it's
like,
sped up. Yeah.
He's doing this part now.
Yeah, so he's doing the steps. You're like, why am I watching this for so long?
Yeah.
This guy's just basically making a giant sandcastle.
I just want to go like dig in the backyard afterwards and just like
But you realize also how conditioned his body would be to just dig hours a day, just doing that, you would be toast. You would have rhabdo.
Oh yeah,
in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, we would all die. His life is so hard.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I'd be one because he shoots really high quality videos, and he obviously knows how to put a video together and make it entertaining and like clean and easy to watch.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But he's like in a jungle.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
The internet, man, it makes the world a crazy place.
Mm-hmm. I just think like no matter what we do nowadays, especially just in this day and age, we need to put our lives on the internet. Not in like that way, but like we need to have some sort of online income. It's just definitely.
I mean,
it's just an opportunity. Yeah, I mean, like you don't have to have a brand, but it's just an opportunity that I don't want to waste. And plus, it's just what I want to do. It's just what I want to do.
If you are interested in it, you should definitely do it. But I mean, it can be extremely
you just have to figure
detrimental and unhealthy as well. So if you have a fine life without the internet,
you have
and
to
that kind of social
figure out why you're doing it.
It's fine.
Don't just do it because you want to be online.
No, definitely not. That's kind of goes back to just comparing yourself to some Instagram hooker selling poison tea.
Dude, I've been oh my god. Freaking hookers. Yeah, I've definitely
So the end goal is to see basically
how
your month goes.
Just kidding.
Solicited.
See
how your month goes, and then recap it. Are you making like videos along the way?
Yeah, I'm trying to do like, oh yeah, it's now like day 8 now. I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna film a little bit of your birthday and stuff, and like, try and just like do one of the things like where you talk over and then you just show like a happy moment. It's like, look how much better it is without social media, you know. But actually, let's talk about some things that I've done. So, quitting social media, I've almost finished a 300-page book. I've probably made and started producing like 3 more videos, and we've probably put out. This will be our second podcast we put out since I've quit social media. So I mean, it's been super productive, and yeah, it's great, and yeah. But you just know. We all know, like, we have that.
Are you more productive?
Capability. Yeah, I've like almost read an entire book in like less than 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, you haven't even talked about your book.
I've started. Yeah, that was the first thing we talked about, and this is how far we've come since way back then.
Yeah.
Since way back there in the beginning of the video, and I've started making like what's it called when you bring I want to say amalgamize. What does that word mean? Let me use it in this context.
I think an amalgam is like a mixture of things.
Let me use it in this context. No, that's not it. Okay, I've actually manifested.
Say it, and I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, I've actually amalgamized. I know it's not right. I'm gonna switch words. Okay, I'm just gonna say the one that I know is wrong right now. I've actually amalgamized a video and made it, into an actual like idea and fully like made footage for it and everything. I just have to edit it, kind of.
I think that's correct. Amalgamation is the action, process, or result of combining or uniting.
Cool. Exactly. That's what I've done. But I'll say that I've actually manifested I've been wanting to like do short films. I'm like, what do I film? Like, what am I gonna do? And it was just raining the other day, and so I was like, okay, today I'm just gonna go into my footage I already have and just see what's there. So I have all this footage. I have like all this footage from the beach. And it was raining that day, so then I was like, all right, I'm going to make a little short. It's not a short film. I don't like calling it that. It's not like that sort of goal. But
we used to call them
edits. It's just a short idea. A short, like, message idea. I don't know how to say it. A short. But,
it's a short. It's not like a short film like what's the ones before, like, Disney Pixar movies?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. But, so it was raining. And so I was like, okay, I'll make a short film about how, the weather sucks and you want to be somewhere else. So it basically opens up with me at home. And I actually filmed a little bit of just me at home. And then I'm going to have me just like close my eyes and then goes into me at the beach, and then I'm there looking around, and then like I'm into my new reality.
You started making it?
So it's cool. If I could show you it. I've actually like made it, and now I just have to edit it and do all the sound effects and everything, make it all good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like my first idea that I've actually manifested onto the platform and like actually been able to start putting it together and stuff.
Mhm.
My other ones are just ideas, so I'm happy about that.
It's like a language too. Once you start getting into the process of making it, becomes a little easier to picture things and put them together.
Yeah, and I'm going this route and not making. Well, I would make vlogs, but I'm going this route of more trying to make more like legit storytelling sort of things from start to finish, make them cool. That way I could work with brands and do more legit, bigger bigger budget sort of things, like bigger money sort of things, and like travel and make bigger, like better, more legit videos instead of doing like a vlog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Vlogs are easy.
Like I want to do higher quality videos and maybe post less often, as opposed to posting every week and just being like a vlog with no quality. And like, what brands would you work with other than people that want to work with you just because your audience? So I don't want to have to wait to the point till I get an audience. I want to be good at a skill and like be able to make this sort of video so I can work with brands even if I don't have an audience, because I have that skill and I can just show them what I've made.
Yeah.
So that's the idea.
I like that idea more than just moving backwards again. Than just putting out a bunch of shit. Just make like some actual good stuff.
Exactly.
Higher quality. That's all people want, really, is higher quality stuff anyways.
I think they definitely respect it and appreciate it more. I do.
It's just better to watch than a vlog.
Yeah. But yeah. So this book I'm reading is
finally.
What's
it called?
It's I don't know. It's called.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're gonna bring up this book for the past 30 minutes and you don't know what it's called?
Hey man, you definitely sidetracked me away from this book. But it's called, I don't know.
Are you serious?
No.
You're not serious?
No, I'm not serious.
What is it called?
I'm not gonna tell you.
What's it about?
Let me see what it's called.
Tell me what it's about. You'll probably remember what it's called. Tell me what it's about. Speak.
It's called it's something like What Had to Be Done, or it's something like,
oh, so vague.
Yeah, it's called like What Had to Be Done, something like that.
Okay.
But it's
what's it about?
So this dude enlists. World War II starts going on, and this dude enlists into the airborne paratroopers when he's 19. And
enlists or is drafted?
No, he enlists because his. Well, that's actually from someone else. He joined. Yeah, he joined. And then because everyone was joining back then. And then so he goes through basic and whatnot, and then he jumps on D-Day, and it's crazy. He was 95 when he wrote this book, but he jumps on D-Day, and so he lands, and he's in the first night that he lands, all the jumps are scattered, and they land in this German-occupied town,
Mm-hmm.
and so he lands, and he falls through a roof, and some other people are landing, getting stuck in trees and whatnot, and going around and just getting like killed off by Germans. He lands in this roof, and I think when he first landed, he landed in the roof, and then he was able to get out and just start running towards his destination, and he needed to go secure this bridge and whatnot. But the Germans were just all running around frantically because they were just like shooting and like trying to find people or whatever, so he was able to kind of get away. But then he just fights. He goes on fighting for a long time, just watching people just get like ripped up, like shot and all that sort of stuff. Crazy things were happening. But the biggest part of the story was he goes on this battle, and they're trying to take this town, but then they get overrun and captured. And so he goes to one of the Nazi work camps, and he goes to what he thinks was Auschwitz, and like they're keeping him there for a while. because there's dead bodies and stuff all just stacked and burned outside and all that sort of stuff. And he's just seeing people in like the Jew suits and everything, and like the stripes. He said like the stripe thing, which was like what the Jews were wearing.
The striped pajamas.
Yeah. And so he's like getting held there, and then they get put back in the train and get taken to this other camp where it's a work camp when they work in the mines.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he's not even 21, but he's working in these mines, and he's just surviving because their goal is to work you to death. So they'll work, and then if you like slack off, they'll just take you and just like beat you with a gun and stuff. Like he was getting beat, and they would work you down to where the point where you just would slack off, and then they'd be like, all right, you're useless, and take you out and kill you in a way. And sometimes, but so one time he collapsed because he was sick, but for some reason they didn't kill him. They just took him to the doctor, and then he got back to work. But eventually he's getting taken to the mine, and he's in the middle, and like the guards are in the front and the back, and he's in the middle of his friend. And then he just like slips out into the forest and like gets away, and so he needs to move really quickly. And so he gets away, and then he's just like on his own, and he goes into this creek, and he's running, and he's like taking the creek down, and then he's getting really hungry, so he has to re-enter one of the towns and find and like go in to get food and stuff like that. And so he breaks into this building, and as soon as he stands in there, as soon as he goes in there, there's like a dude, I don't know what it's called, it's like the Wehrkraft or something, which is like the civilian police, the Nazi police or whatever, that were often people of the occupied countries that would just work with the Nazis. And there's one of those dudes, he's like 60 or something, and he just turns, he surprised him. And then he said that he just turned and shot him, killed him. And then he took like the bread and stuff that was inside of him, inside his pocket and stuff.
Inside of him?
Inside his pockets.
He
and everything.
filleted this guy and then took out his...
Yeah, he take what was just digested already.
Yeah.
But so he killed this dude. So he's like not even 21. He's having to kill people behind it and just like survive behind enemy lines. And he goes on to kill probably like 10 more people behind enemy lines. And like, it's crazy because one of the times he was getting water from the well, and in this town, and this girl comes out, and he said looked like she was like 17, and she comes out and she goes like, foreigner, 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 and she turns and runs, and so he just had to just like turn and shoot her and kill her, and he just killed this 17-year-old girl, and he was just like, I just had to do it, like I had to do that and move on. And like so he just moves on, and then he eventually finds the allies and regroups with them. And he doesn't say anything about this story for 40 years, and he's now 95 and writes this book. But before the war too, an interesting detail, it was just crazy. He had this girlfriend that was like basically waiting for him, and so he went missing. And this whole time, like they're telling him that he's missing, and they're telling his family and his girlfriend he's missing, we don't know where he is. And then finally they say like, oh, he's alive, he's a prisoner of war. And then finally he comes back home, and then she was like just waiting there. She's like, I knew you'd come back home, that sort of thing. And I was just like, dang, that's crazy. Like
such a thing that
like,
would happen in that time period.
Yeah. Nowadays people would just be like moving on.
Yeah, there's like 40 movies on that.
Yeah. But just all the details in it I can't really say, but like just can't remember everything. But it's just crazy to be the difference between being 20 and being in the war, where like he said it was really dark. He said he saw just what happens when you need to survive and how far you're willing to go when you need to survive, because there wasn't one person that he spared when he thought, like, should he do it? Should he kill him? And, like, you're killing people, too. It's crazy.
Yeah. It gets very primal.
Yeah, and it was just like, you had to do that, and I was like, dang. And he's like, people call me a hero, and they say I'm so brave, but I feel like a murderer. I feel like, I just feel like I've, killed people. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing. And then I saw some really weird shit because I was started to look at people like war. I started to look at like war vet stories and stuff like that. And then I saw someone from Vietnam, and it was like this psychopath dude that some lady was interviewing, and he was part of a unit where they would like chop the dude's heads off and like hang them on a post so that the Viet Cong wouldn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I miss it. Like, I just want to go back. Like, and she's like, why do you want to go back? He's like, because I miss killing. And it was just like, okay. Well,
yeah, that's not
fucking weird, dude.
That's not that weird though. That's like a lot of soldiers and stuff that go into battle. I don't know if it's necessarily the killing that they miss. I think there's definitely a little bit of that, taking out bad guys.
Like the freedom.
But it's like, yeah, it's kind of like the adrenaline mixed with camaraderie, kind of along with that, all in a bunch. But you know, I heard an interesting fact, and I don't know that much about it, but I thought it was kind of interesting that a lot of the concentration camps that were doing like the most heinous things weren't Germans. They were Nazis, but it was like Eastern Europeans.
Yeah.
Like Czechs, and I don't know if it was like
Polish
Czechs or
and stuff.
Polish, like all those people. It wasn't like that were running them and like the most doing like all the stuff that is famous and that we know, like Auschwitz and all that stuff. I think they were all run by mostly non-Germans.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think Auschwitz
Like they were the most brutal ones.
Yeah.
Not the Germans.
Yeah.
Not the German Nazis.
Germans
They were
definitely
brutal. But I'm saying like the things that we think of for the Holocaust and all that stuff, it was just Eastern European countries.
Yeah, some of it
was where those people came from.
Well, it's just like surprising that it wasn't all Germans is what it is. Like,
Yeah, I think it was like
it's not like it was all
Turkish
Eastern
people maybe too. Yeah, no, not
Yeah,
all,
just all like the
obviously.
occupied people and
Mhm.
stuff. Like, it's so weird.
That's crazy. That's a cool book though. You should definitely know what it's called, especially if you're gonna bring it up. What's the guy's name?
Oh, it's a weird name. I don't know. It's a weird
What's
name.
his first name?
I don't know.
You don't remember his first name? Are you
No.
sure you read this book? This wasn't like
I'm
a
just
dream?
like blowing through it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're picking up a lot of information, clearly.
I don't know what his name is. I don't know. What's the book called?
I don't care. You're done. You
What
had
is
your
it called?
chance.
It's called
I barely
like
pointed this episode.
What Needed to Be Done or something like that.
Oh, okay. That seems about right.
What? You barely pointed to something?
Yeah, I barely pointed over to you.
I mean, yeah, it's called What Needed to Be Done or something.
Let's see if I can find it. No, not that.
You
Yeah,
talk.
it sounds interesting. I definitely need to throw some more books into my. Well, I need to finish the ones I have, but I need to start reading some more. I listen to so many podcasts just all day.
It's almost like reading.
Just it's close. Well, not really, but it's learning.
Whatever it took.
Whatever it took.
By Henry Langayer.
You couldn't remember Henry?
No. Whatever It
Pathetic.
Took. An American paratrooper's extraordinary memoir of escape, survival, and heroism in the last days of World War II. And just like the amount of people he killed is crazy.
Yeah. That's cool. Definitely, I'll probably read that. I have a list of to read. Empire of the Summer Moon. I have to finish my book that I'm reading. I'll probably read that at some point.
Yeah, you need to read that because you'll just be like, dude, the Comanche warriors were badass
Yeah.
and scary.
I'll get into it.
Real scary.
All right.
All right, that's it. And
Wrap it
I'm
up.
tired.
Right over an hour. Yeah, you talked yourself into
Jesus, yeah.
exhausted yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to just go directly into bed.
Really, though?
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, still gotta do a couple things. But
Subscribe to this podcast.
yeah,
Like this video and share it with your friends. Also,
that's a big one.
go to our YouTube if you're listening on Spotify and subscribe there. And then if you're listening on Spotify,
Tell
just
the
click that
name-
follow
The
button.
names of them.
The YouTube is the Shitty Podcast with an asterisk as the I. And Shitty Podcast on Spotify and Apple.
And Instagram, it's just the Shitty Podcast.
And then this dude's birthday's in 2 days, so we're looking forward to that.
And you can email us whatever you want to email us at the.shit.pod@gmail.com.
Yeah, topics, questions.
Sharing's a big thing, though.
Share
Tell
anything
people.
that you just want to, like,
Tell people about us.
just say something about our podcast that you liked. Who cares? Just say whatever you want. Yeah. We'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah. All right. Dope.
Peace.
See ya.